Interview here on the JoyNews channel. That's my colleague Blaise Atsuga. He is with the international desk here at JoyNews. Let's do some other stories on security. The Ghana Police Service has vowed to apprehend a gang of armed robbers that shot a lady suspected to be of Asian descent and made away with a lump sum of money. Eyewitnesses say the assailant first immobilized her vehicle and later shot through the window. My colleague Michael Ashale has more on the following report.
Sounds of residents rushing to the rescue of the victim of a shooting incident at Caprice near Aveno Junction. Eyewitnesses tell JoyNews there were 4 persons on separate motorbikes. They first shot at the tires of the Toyota Prado and later fired another from the rear of the passenger side.
I heard a motor sound, pa, pa. I thought it was those kind of Okada riders who were just playing.
An eyewitness who would want to remain anonymous narrates the incident.
So as I came out, I was like, nah, what I'm hearing is not that exhaust sound. It was a real gun sound and it was heavy too. So I was trying to get close and I saw 4 guys on a bike using AK, and they gave warning shots. They shot the 3-wheel, they shot 1 back mirror, and I think they shot the hands. So the hands were, the middle finger was off. So they just took, I think, 2 bags from the car and just moved out.
The occupant of the vehicle is believed to be of Asian descent. In the process, 2 of her fingers were injured after colliding with the bullets from the shot through the window.
I hid myself because I don't want them to see me. So I saw everything. They shoot the car in front of the glass. So after I said, bring the money, bring the money. So I don't know what to do, so I just know, let me hide myself so that I can see them very well.
Miriam
normally
Mohammed
that is what I said.
She was
saw
one
their
of
face,
the few at the
they
scene.
shoot the woman which was
she offered first
dancing
aid
inside the
to
car.
the
She
victim.
doesn't want to give the money. And another one to shoot. So that's when the woman gave the money to them. And another one of the guys went to the driver's side, shoot the woman's hands. So the reason why I came, I went there to help the woman because I'm a health worker. I don't want the woman to lose her life. So when I got there, I took the woman inside the car. So I was looking for a taxi so that I can send him to hospital or ambulance. No, it's only the fingers from this side. So when I got to that place, I hold this one. I just make it so that this one will not fall down. Yeah, that's what I said.
So what exactly did you give her? First aid, right?
Gets inside to the car. She was crying, help, help. So I open the car. So I take him like I say, baby, you are taking a baby from. Yeah, that's how I take him. So when I drop him down and he said, madam, please, my phone. So I went inside the car and I picked the phone to the woman. And she was making a call. She was talking in Chinese language. So I don't understand that language.
The police in a statement said it was pursuing the assailants and would surely get them arrested to face justice. For JoyNews, Michael Ashale.
The Ashanti Regional Security Council is expected to take a decision on calming a simmering tension between nomadic herdsmen and farmers in the Ejura-Seche-Dumase municipality this Friday. This comes as the Ejura Traditional Council bans the movement of nomadic herdsmen into communities within Ejura. The regional minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, has called for calm as measures are being taken to find a lasting solution to the problem. This wonderful report.
The Ejura Traditional Council has taken a decision to flush out nomadic herdsmen and their cattle in communities within the area. This was after farmers and inhabitants accused the herdsmen of being behind recent robbery attacks, including the killing of a police constable and destruction of farms in recent times. Leadership of the Fulani community has cautioned plans by the security agencies to stop the movement of cattle approaching the limits of Edra threatens security of farms. But the traditional authority is unwilling to soften its stance. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah believes the nomadic herdsmen will have to find means of restricting their cattle from destroying farms as efforts are made to address the situation. He says the Security Council will be guided by lessons from similar incidents at Agogo in the Ashanti Achem North districts.
If I plant my maize, I don't think the maize can move. The element that moves is the cattle. So if I go to sleep and the next day I come back and cattle has consumed all my crops, the person I have to blame is that is the cattle owners. We should find a better balance between the rearing of the cattle and the crop farming. When we meet, you take a decision on that. All that we've informed the chiefs and people of Edra that they should exercise some patience and some restraint, and we going forward, we find a solution to the problem.
The minister spoke on the sidelines of an event to inaugurate the board of the Peace Council in the Ashanti region. 13 members, including 6 retained board members, were inaugurated. Board member of the National Peace Council, Nana Ejakoma Diffie II, urged the regional members to discharge their duties effectively.
Our core value should be measured by fostering friendship, promoting trust, tolerance, goodwill, and community recognition. I will call on the incoming members of the Regional Peace Council to buckle up because the task ahead is critical for the development of our society and will require your full commitment, sacrifice, and dedication.
Chairman of the Ashanti Regional Peace Council, Reverend Ben Nuhu Abubakar, says the board is poised to play its role efficiently.
I've been a member for the past 4 years. We had a lot of conflicts. We have chieftaincy disputes in this region, a lot of chieftaincy disputes. We have youth agitations. The galamsey is very rife in this area. We can handle any of them and bring about peace.
For JoyNews, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Supreme Court Judge, Her Ladyship Justice Henrietta Mensah Bonsu has cautioned against any plot or schemes by groups or individuals to overthrow the democratically elected leader of the country and the Constitution. Having witnessed at first hand the devastation of war during her tenure as former Deputy Special Representative of the UN Secretary General in Liberia, the former Professor of Law at the University of Ghana highlighted the grim consequences of any such unconstitutional act on the people. She's also called on political class to be cautious of the social temperature of the country in order to maintain the peace. She made a call at the launch of her biography, Joy, a biography of Henrietta Mensah Bonsu by Kofi Akpabli at the University of Ghana Thursday evening.
The over 400-page book touches on the life of Henrietta, who was on the brink of death at 18 months old, to a woman who has risen through the ranks to become one of Ghana's biggest legal exports to the world. In a captivating review of Joy, the biography of Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, lawyer Samson Ladi Ayeneni said, the foreword alone is as captivating as it is revealing, and justified why everyone needs to get a copy of the book.
You will read about this in chapter 22. In this chapter, you will read about the telephone call from the presidency to Prof. At the time she was asleep. Her husband answered the call. Her sleep had been disturbed, but she was calm about it because the purpose, once again, was a call to duty for God and country. You guessed wrong. It had nothing to do with her present duty as a judge.
Longtime friend and associate of the celebrant, Professor Audrey Sichope, Gajekpo was full of praise for her former workmate, who she says remains a trailblazer.
Those of you who attend parties in the Mensa Bonso residence can testify under oath. Her dexterity on the dance floor and her karaoke skills. She loves to sing. Professor Mensa Bonso's academic prowess is also legendary. Rita so mesmerized my dad with her inaugural lecture titled Transplanting the English Oak, Legalism, Legality, Legal Pluralism, and the Criminal Law of Ghana, that he immediately started dreaming of his daughter following in her footsteps, and so charged her with the responsibility of making sure that happened. Sure, no easy task. But yes, even when assigned tasks she has little control over, she's able to deliver.
Her ladyship, Justice Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, has seen firsthand the destruction and scars of war, particularly in Liberia. With that experience still fresh on her mind, the celebrant used the platform to admonish Ghanaians not to give in to the promoters of war, who she says always benefit from same.
Life in peacetime could be so difficult as to make the survivors envy the war dead. Maintaining our peace and working through our problems within a peaceful Ghana is what holds a good future for all of us, particularly those of us with our best years already behind us. Those of us entrusted with leadership must always keep an eye on the social temperature of the polity and maintain our social cohesion to keep our polity at peace. It must never be forgotten that some people profit by war and will stop at nothing to promote their commercial interests.
Henrietta Joy Mensah Bonsu has undoubtedly dedicated her life to service of country and the world. It remains to be seen what task and challenge she will take up in the years ahead.
Then my living shall not be in vain. I thank you.
There's a strong push by the minority in Parliament to cap the numbers of judges at the Supreme Court. The Constitution says the highest court shall consist of a Chief Justice and not less than 9 other justices. Speaking during the consideration of the Appointments Committee report on the nomination of Justice Barbara Frances Akanyesu and Samuel Kwame Adibu, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu warned that if the court is not capped, a president may take advantage and park it with loyalists. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Ashanti has more.
Approved the nominations of His Excellency the President of the following persons as Justices of the Supreme Court in accordance with Article 1442 of the 1992 Constitution.
President Akufo-Addo has since he assumed office in 2017, nominated 15 judges to the Apex Court, the highest in the nation's history. The minority leader accuses the president of taking advantage of the Constitution to pack the courts and has been recommending a cap on the number of judges who sit at the highest court.
We have seen significant numbers appointed under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to the Supreme Court of Ghana. In the name, as you read his own appointment letter, anticipated vacancies, where there is no ceiling provided. I want to believe that the framers of the Constitution assume that Parliament will provide for those limitations. We cannot have an open-ended. So, Mr. Speaker, tomorrow, if a particular president decides that he wants to appoint 25 justices of the Supreme Court, we will say because of jurisdiction, it must be. That is what this Constitution provides. But, Mr. Speaker, it has always been my position that
Former Majority Leader Cletus Avoka backs this position.
2 days ago, I heard on the social media that 2 former Chief Justices, the former Chief Justice Sophia Addo, Akufo rather, and then the current one, Justice Anin, had indicated that there should be no capping for the Supreme Court because of the volume of work at that level. While we appreciate that there could be a lot of work to be done at the Supreme Court, I still think that it is useful, having regard to the exigencies of the situation and the experiences that we have gone through, to have a capping.
But NP for Kaikui Central, Patrick Boama, says if Parliament wants to do something about this, it can, but should stop sounding helpless.
This House, we cry too much over nothing, because we have the powers to take certain actions if we want to cap or expand or limit the number of justices of the court, the number of justices who can serve on the court.
President Akufo-Addo nominated 4 judges to the Supreme Court. 2 have now been approved and 2 are in the pipeline. Justices Ernest Yao Gaiwu and Justice Kingsley Kumsin will know their fate soon, but we now know that the minority on the committee are resisting their approval and they will not get consensus approval in the House. We do not know yet when exactly the Appointments Committee will lay the report on those 2 judges in the House. But those 2 judges, like I've mentioned to you, are facing some fierce resistance by some members on the Appointments Committee. Reporting for JoyNews, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Away from Parliament, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice says it continues to struggle in many of its decisions following investigations under the Asset Declaration of Public Officers. The Commission says it currently has more than 500 cases of asset declarations by public officers on its table, and the passage of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers bill into law will help deal with the issues decisively. Speaking at a ceremony to mark International Day of Anti-Corruption, Shraj boss Joseph Whittal urged Cabinet to expedite action on the bill for legislative action. Richard Kojunako attended the event and has come through with this report.
Chapter 24 of the 1992 Constitution provides for the Code of Conduct for Public Officers in Ghana, dealing with conflict of interest, declaration of assets and liabilities, and oath of office. However, there is no legislation or act of parliament to give effect to the constitutional provisions on the Code of Conduct. This has made the implementation of the Code of Conduct under Chapter 24 a challenge, despite the mandate given the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice and the Chief Justice to investigate breaches of the Code of Conduct and take such actions. Shraj boss Joseph Whittal says investigating matters of asset declaration and conflict of interest is not the issue, but a legal regime that will spell out sanctions appropriately. He cited the case of the EC boss Jane Mensah and the Chief Justice, Justice Eni Yabua's case as classical examples.
When a law is passed, sanctions are set out. This particular the constitutional provisions in Chapter 24 do not create sanctions, but gives it to the discretion of the Commission. And discretion has also been interpreted to be such that it must be done under certain circumstances. So it restricts the Commission from wanting to go beyond a certain level. We have since still been handling certain type of cases, but I gave those 2 examples as outlier cases. One, in the course of the investigation, the person goes to. So what do you do? And then the other one, the complaint comes, but a day before the complaint, the person had already gone ahead to declare. So what do you do? So you need proportionately, you have to know how to handle this. But it would have been easier if there was a law that says, look, not only about discretion, but there is a sanction if somebody has breached it. So 1 day breach is civil enough. This is what should happen.
Mr. Whittal called on Cabinet to expedite action on the bill.
Assets declaration is one huge area. We're dealing with about 500. And the nature of the public offices is something that is interesting. One complaint alone, through a right to information request to the Auditor General, has enabled them to know the number of persons who have not declared and the people have been brought before the Commission.
About 500 of them?
About 500 of them, roughly speaking. Now we also think we are looking at also who would have thought that the judges superior court judges would be under the scrutiny of the public. Yeah, but there are complaints about that have come, allegations against superior court judges for non-declaration of assets. They are also with us.
Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice Alfred Tuayabua says the fight against corruption requires a concerted effort.
In Ghana, what I've seen is that people talk about corruption, but if you ask them to come up with information, they refuse to come, even though we have various acts or laws seeking to protect people who give information about corruption. So the fight is not one person's fight, it's a collective fight. We all need to get involved, we all need to speak up, we all need to make sure that people who engage in corruption are not glorified. Because if, for example, I engage in corruption, it should be possible for my own people, even my family, to disown me and tell me that what I've been doing is not proper.
The Commission and its partners say they intend to use this year's International Anti-Corruption Day to build a broad coalition of public and private sectors and civil society for a robust conduct of public officers law that can effectively curb corruption and ensure that it is passed into law. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejunya-Akon, Accra.
You're watching JoyNews Prime with me, Ernest Mini. We're taking a break. On Weary 10, we'll take you to the Accra Zoo because it has been reopened after close to 4 months of closure. The Forestry Commission is assuring security has been enhanced.
Charlie, the malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and your fufu. But I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing artemether and lumefantrine. Comes in tablets and suspension for effective treatment of malaria.
Great to have you back. Thank you. No problem.
Malatu is suitable for adults and children. Manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
You and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
As a young mom, you're not always sure that you're doing it right. Choosing a baby care product for your child can sometimes be difficult. I choose BabyMed Hypoallergenic Skincare products, specially formulated to suit my baby's fragile and sensitive skin. A complete range of products that makes every bath time a moment of tenderness and well-being. BabyMed, baby-specific care products.
Hello, babe. Wow, I'm glad you called. See, as we're eating, and I felt the food was so delicious, but I knew there was something equally delicious, and that is you. Guess what? My car broke down. I was left stranded and so frustrated until your dad came and offered me a ride and brought me to your home.
Yeah. Yes, mommy. Come and give me a hand, please.
As I set my eyes on you, babe, I couldn't help but shoot my shot at the dining table. And that was the biggest yawa of the day. And it led me to you, the love of my life. So guess who's going to be my best man? My car. Babe, won't you talk? Hello?
Where to find Unia Janefa?
Lele, tasty food, happy family.
This advert is FDA approved.
Are you looking for a home to buy in Kumasi? Prabon Greenfield is a private luxury gated community located in the heart of Kumasi with elegant homes starting from just $149,000. Move into our already built 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms at just 20% down payment and pay the remainder on a payment plan. Contact us on 0546 022-306 or 0200-056-865. Prabon Greenfields, the heart of Kumasi.
Authorities of the Forestry Commission have assured security at the Accra Zoo has been enhanced. It comes as the Commission officially reopened the zoo almost 4 months after it was closed, when a man was found to have been devoured by a lion in August this year. There's more in this report by Lois Day and Semefa Rejoice.
On August 29, Forestry Commission officials confirmed that an anonymous man had been killed by a lion after he climbed into the zoo enclosure. There are reports he may have planned to steal 2 rare white lion cubs to sell later. As officials of the commission closed the zoo to the public, the police opened an investigation into the attack, which left many Ghanaians in shock. Well, 4 months down the line, police are yet to establish the details of the attack, but zoo authorities have reopened the facility. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu Jinapo assured the public of their safety since security has been enhanced.
As we all know, a couple of months ago, we recorded an unfortunate incident when a middle-aged man intruded the lions' enclosure at this zoo, leading to his untimely death. Following this incident, the zoo was temporarily closed down on my instructions to allow investigations into the incident and to put in place the necessary security measures to forestall future occurrences. We are gathered here to reopen the Accra Zoo to the general public.
He says government has begun engagements to open zoos in all 16 regional capitals and acknowledged the economic benefits of ecotourism in the country.
In Africa, zoos and ecotourism have become major boosts to the economies of countries like Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, Rwanda, and Zambia. The Kenyan economy, for instance, is said to have benefited some $4.2 billion from ecotourism in 2020 alone. We have plans to enhance and upgrade Kumasi Zoo, and also plans are far advanced to construct 3 new zoos in Tamale, Koforidua, and Takoradi. The plan is that eventually every regional capital of Ghana, all the 16 regional capitals of Ghana, should have a zoo. I therefore call on Ghanaians and foreigners that Accra Zoo is reopened to the public, and indeed they've even upgraded the animal species they have at the zoo. Now they have a zebra, and as you can see, they have lions and they have all kinds of animals here.
Zoo officials also told JoyNews they have a new addition to the animals at the facility. Visitors to the zoo will now have the experience of seeing a zebra there. Lois Day and Semefa Rejoice report. Read to you.
Time now for the People's Voice. Fufu, Kokonte, and Gobe. What do they have in common? Well, they rank as some of the cheapest foods for many people, but some people are unhappy because they can no longer afford them due to inflation and the general high cost of living. That was contained in today's latest edition of People's Voices when we took our microphones to the Accra Mall area.
Those who decided to get closer to the microphone, they were most concerned about the escalating cost of essential home items and food.
I'm complaining about transport.
The public must be loud about high cost of rice and soap. The manufacturers have even reduced the size of the product. But the price has been increased. They should try and reduce the price for us.
Bramanu mi hunse makoto ko contain 5 cities. Me name says or Russia now or Ukraine.
Operators of food joints are not helping things.
7 cities. Utako 2 cities. Minia, over stories out to 2 cities.
5 cities of my favorite food is not enough anymore. It used to fill my tummy. They are always increasing their price. How can we afford?
Others were more concerned about the fast deteriorating Accra-Tema motorway.
The motorway is my major concern. You always hear there is an accident on the motorway. They should try and put it back in shape. We are really struggling. The entire stretch of the motorway is very bad. We need it fixed.
I'm a citizen of Ghana. Government, we breed you that if I tear the petrol top, maybe 10 cedi or so, we like it. I am a Uber driver. I pay my tax to the government. Nanado, we beg you. You know, say the way you do free education, no, you go free do the petrol like that. When the petrol rise up, then everything is for Ghana here. We beg you, government, do something about it.
For the young folks, they want government to work to provide more jobs.
It's actually bad. The way the system is going in Ghana, it's actually bad at all. Like seriously, we are not seeing top. You can't buy fuel, you can't buy food, nor any other thing. See, the government is really killing us. Rising up dollar, doing everything on your own as if the whole country is in your pocket. Now, if you are listening to me, I'm here. I'm a youth of this nation. The way the system is going, and every youth listening to me right now should rise up. Seriously. The police are also killing us on the road. Yes. The police are also killing us. Everybody is trying to make his way out. Why? Because the system is sad. Because the system is sad.
There was also commendation for the Ghana Police Service, which has increased the number of police personnel patrolling the streets.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to applaud the IGP. Yeah, that way, then deploy the police put for almost every checkpoint. It make we feel safe for the country. Like, though things be tough, but at least they find some comfort that they go about our normal work. That one we all applaud them. You do all IGP. We do our back.
Well, look out for the microphone that gets your views heard. It may soon come to your neighborhood. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Tonight, I want you, yes, you watching me, I want you to look at the man in the mirror. This is to all Ghanaians and to all who have a stake in this country's future. Look at the person staring back at you in the mirror. Have you failed him or her? I'm not talking about your personal lives. No, I'm talking about the collective effort to build this country in a way our forefathers and our children yet unborn will be proud of. Are we truly holding leadership to account to deliver what is expected of them for our collective benefit?
Years ago at my first inauguration, I urged all Ghanaians to be, and I quote, citizens and not spectators, unquote. I appeal to you to be active participants in the effort to help build the Ghana we want.
This was the promise that many, including me, myself, thought would herald a new beginning. In fact, we were all so expectant. But what are we seeing now? Are we holding our leaders to account? We're not holding our leaders to account. But who can you blame? Who can you blame? Listen to the finance minister.
And the question was, did we know that this was coming and we did not do anything about it? It just strikes me as odd for us to have this sort of two apocalyptic events in world history, and for somehow all of us to have been able to see it.
So you heard there the finance minister. We'll come back to him. But earlier you heard the president who said that we should be citizens and not spectators. And he said this, and we thought that he would be nonsensical and determined to do right by us. A leader who appeared to be open to criticism by simply saying, don't hold back if you find that I'm charting the wrong track. I mean, 6 years into his tenure, the Akufo-Addo administration has left many scratching their heads as to whether this call to be a citizen and not a spectator was a genuine one or just a show of eloquent speech, which was borrowed, by the way. The point I'm trying to make is, given the call for us to be citizens in the development of our nation, are our leaders truly listening? Do they truly care? Are you and I holding their feet to the fire enough? Or should the populace also be blamed for what we are beginning to see creep into the system? Lethargy. The system has become lethargic, and the voices of a few loud ones are being drowned out by the deafening silence of the masses. Here's why I say so. Economists have predicted that our worst is not over. We are headed for more hardship in the next year, all because of decisions taken by the leadership of this country, which did not inure to our benefit. I won't belabor the point. You're living the hardship already, so you know. Most of you may be experiencing some haircut of some sort because of the proposed debt exchange program where bondholders like pension funds, banks, and insurance firms will have to exchange their bonds for one that will earn 0 interest next year. And rather than offer a conciliatory posture, you heard what the finance minister had to say earlier. He says, we are all at this point. There's nothing that we can do. So we are caught between a rock and a hard place, certainly. But who brought us to this point? In July this year, the Sri Lankan president resigned after protesters stormed his official residence during demonstrations over the country's worsening economic crisis. So the people there exercise their power. Are we exercising ours? I mean, much of the burden has been placed on the media and civil society, but they cannot do it all alone. People must understand that leaders are there to serve them, not the other way around. And by the way, the call to be citizens and not spectators was made to everyone, not just the media, not just civil society. I mean, of course, it gets tiring when your constructive criticisms and loud calls are ignored by the leadership that ought to take action. Consider the case of the ministers who are MPs who neglected their duties to go to Qatar to watch football. And to think that at the height of the economic crisis, the ministerial meeting convened at Peduase resolved that there would be no non-essential travels. So was that trip to Qatar so essential? Clearly, the optics were bad, but did they care? So gradually, many people are becoming fatigued because to call out what is wrong, you will be met with verbal attacks or nonchalance and deafening silence or stoic defiance by the government. But must we give up? We can't afford to. Did the Sri Lankans give up? We have all become spectators just watching, like football fans in Qatar. Let us remind ourselves that we are citizens, not spectators. And let the leadership understand this. A leader who doesn't listen very soon loses his followers.
Everyone has a story.
In fact, there was a time I decided I have to stop the music.
A story of that unique place that gives them a vibe.
It's a spiritual moment for me whenever I have to record music, because whenever the place is dark, I feel I'm in the studio alone, even without the producer.
The vibe that births excellence, special skills, talent, and mastery. Welcome to E-Vibes with Becky on this channel.
And it's Friday. I'm sure you're looking out for the weekend. And what are you going to be doing this weekend? On Monday, Becky tells us what we missed on the weekend. Today, you must tell us what we need to know for this weekend.
Yeah, what you should expect this weekend and which events that you should, attend.
I know about Gold Worship.
Yes, by Sisi Chum.
Yeah, it's a free concert, so you need to be there.
Yes,
it's happening at SEM.
SEM Auditorium, and she was on Daybreak Hits 2 days ago speaking about this particular event.
Right.
Joe Metal is on the bill, so if you're looking at somewhere to be for the gospel lovers, we have this one for you, Sisi Chum. This is the 5th edition of the Gold Worship, and you should attend. I think you should go there and tell us all about it.
On Monday.
Right. Another thing you should look forward to is the Wizkid Live concert, which is happening at the Accra Sports Stadium. We have Ifia on the bill. For those of you who haven't seen Ifia in a very long time, Yao Tog is on that bill as well. We have R2Bs, obviously, on that bill. We have Jackie, for those of you who love My Mind Day for You. And of course, for the Wizkid lovers, this is where you should be. It's at the Accra Sports Stadium. Well, you would have to pay for that one. I cannot help you with that one. But you can obviously comment on our social media platform, and we will give you tickets. I have tickets for Ernest. Ernest is not going.
Thank
so
you.
We're taking.
Okay, no. If you want to give it to the viewers, that's fine.
So I'm taking yours and I'm giving it to the viewers.
That's okay. So just go onto social media to your page.
Yeah, and
just make a comment. Say hello to Becky, and you get a free ticket.
All right, so for the movie lovers, this one is actually a 3D animation movie called Ya Santwa, starring Nana Magdan. It's premiering tomorrow at the Silver Best Cinemas. It's the first time we're having something, not the first time actually, but first time Nana Magdan is starring something like this, and it's all about our legendary Ya Santwa.
We're telling our stories. So please, let's go out there and support it.
And support it. And also,
I saw the trailer. It was very good.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I am actually looking forward to this particular movie, 3D animation movie. I've never seen anything like that before. And so I am looking forward to it. This weekend, E-Vibes is still showing.
Oh yeah, the US series.
Your favorite US series starring Fritz Oakley is still showing this weekend on the JoyNews and Joy Prime channel. Oh, there you have it.
So this will be part 2 of Fritz?
No, it's the same. Oh, actually, I had only one part.
Okay.
And so, my accent just changed right now. And so, so just,
New York girl.
On the JoyNews channel and also on the Joy Prime channel. It's on Saturday. just, stick and stay with this channel. For those of you who are also expecting Kofi Kinate's concert Made in Tadi is not happening this year.
Why? What's wrong?
Due to circumstances beyond their control. I cannot explain that, but well, that's what they said. Made in Tadi is not happening. But Ernest, before we go, there's something that you need to do. We have a karaoke night. We
Becky, you should have told me about this.
We promised the viewers we are not going to waste time.
You promised on my behalf.
Listen, without much ado, the first one is from Black Sheriff Soldier.
Are we doing this right now?
Yes. So, Director Loretta, if you have that, please put it on so that Ernest can sing word to word the lyrics of that song. Soldier, let's go. Oh.
Becky.
It's supposed to be on the.
Right, if you can project it, so because otherwise.
My mystery box is somewhere very near. I feel it inside me. I'm feeling very weird. Something where I did chase for years back in the days.
I won't believe you. No.
So how could I go? Yeah.
I'm too close, I can
feel it. Something is vibrating. That is that them kill me. My own body. My own body. My own anxiety.
My inferiority. What? Right, when I'm singing that, you don't show to the audience. You don't show to the audience.
Just
when I miss the line,
beating so fast.
So fast. So fast.
Oh, soldier. Stand up, beat your chest. They come. Oh, you did Ernest is actually familiar with the countryside music, the song featuring.
I just love the chorus. I really,
that one, I'm sure that one you can sing it for us.
Let's see. I don't know, but I know the chorus. I know the chorus, but.
Hello, my name is Abeku Agri Santana. If there's anything that makes my life so easy, it is my bank. I love hanging out with my boys at our usual fufu joint. But even without cash, we still dey chop better with Ecobank Mobile. No matter the time of day, my bank helps me stay in touch with my beautiful wife whenever she's away. And when my beautiful wife is in town, she never misses out on her favorite TV shows because I'm able to pay up all my TV subscriptions from the comfort of my mobile phone. Whenever she has to get groceries too, my bank makes it cashless and convenient. And the part my wife loves the most is when my bank makes it possible and easy for her to shop from any part of the world without moving.
Welcome to the smart world of Ecobank. Download Ecobank Mobile from Google Play Store or the App Store and discover the smart way to bank. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Oh wow, you look beautiful in person. Oh,
I think you're more, and you look handsomer than your DM pictures.
Hey, your room is very kama pow. My room is your room. Feel it free.
Oh, sir. I am feeling at home.
Anyway, where's Shiapa?
Yemre.
You flow naturally when you are yourself. Frutally, the all-natural fruit juice. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to Magdan Aviation. Our world-class terminal, located at the Kotoka International Airport, is a fixed-base operation that offers total aviation services in Ghana's private sector space. Magdan Aviation offers convenient access to a wide variety of destinations. Just sit at the comfort of your homes or offices and book a flight to any country of your choice, and a luxurious car will be available to pick you up to the FBO, where all arrangements, including hotel bookings, transport services, among others, will be made available even in the country of destination. The FBO features an elegant lobby, business center, and a catering area to make your flight experience a memorable one. We have a very spacious terminal which houses 3 modern private jets and a helicopter for your tours, intercity transport, air ambulance services, cash carriage, and a bullion movement. Wherever you need to travel, Magdan Aviation has got you. Safety is a hallmark at Magdan. From our dedicated customer service team to the flight staff, every employee puts the safety and security of our clients first. We are here to make conducting business across the world easy and convenient.
And it's time to do business this evening with me, Beverly Broom. Now, some savings and loans companies in the country have been hit by pandemic withdrawals. According to the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies, the situation is due to uncertainty surrounding government's proposed debt exchange program. Junibu Abuachi is the executive secretary and has been speaking on PM Express Business Edition.
What is very worrying now is that we have not gotten to any imaginative point where financial institutions like banking institutions are saying that they have this kind of challenge. However, depositors are rushing to taking their fixed deposits.
Is that the situation? And sorry to cut you in. Is that the situation now?
Yes, those who don't understand what's happening.
There's a rush or a run to liquidate their fixed deposits.
They are rushing. Yes, they are rushing to take their deposits. And unfortunately, those who are also owing the banking institutions are defaulting on their loans. And so we think that we have not gotten to the point where we should be experiencing this. And therefore, we all need to support the system. And as I said from the beginning, doing nothing is not an alternative. We all need to take pragmatic steps to protecting the financial sector. And I always say, if your banking sector or your financial sector is weak, then your whole economy will crash. And therefore, we all need to take steps that will protect the sanctity of the financial sector.
Away from that, government has kick-started the Economic Enclave project for food production, which aims at growing staple food for domestic consumption and export. The program, which is supported by the Ministry of Finance and the 48th Engineer Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces, seeks to reduce Ghana's overdependence on imported food and helping strengthen the local currency. Speaking at a short briefing before the launching of the Enclave, Chief of Staff Akosua Fremau-Pare assures of support from the presidency to make the program a success.
The Economic Enclave project is part of the Ghana Cares of Atampa program aimed at reducing the country's food import bill. The site, located in the Shai Osudoku district of Kasunya, is expected to cultivate about 10,000 hectares of rice, maize, and other staples. Chief of Staff Fremau Akosua-Pare pledged President Akufo-Addo's full support to the initiative.
In order to transform our economy, the President tasked all ministers to leverage on the opportunity provided by the pandemic and build a wealthy, inclusive, sustainable, empowered, and resilient Ghana, what we term a wiser Ghana. The current challenges and its devastating impact on the economy and households actually affirm the need to build on even more wiser Ghana, be reducing imports and producing locally. In fact, it will be unwise to keep supporting employment elsewhere by importing more when our youth continue to actively look for jobs here.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta applauded the farmers working on the project and expressed confidence that the initiative will enhance the country's food security as well as exporting into the continental free trade area.
To reduce the $1 billion we spent between 2017 and 2021 on rice, while we expanded to rice sufficiency and moved the ratio from the 43% that we produce to more than 100%. And also for the national demand of some 400,000 metric tons of poultry, reverse that trend so that we will be chicken sufficient and be exporting. And to reduce the 90% of our tomato needs from our neighboring countries and onions, which is estimated to have reached some $400 million a year.
The Millennium Development Corporation and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture are part of the partners for this project.
Now, the Ghana Consulting Engineers Association are unhappy about persistent delays and non-payment of contractors. According to the president of the association, Magnus Leslie Kwashi, this is affecting activities of engineers across the country. Speaking to Joy Business at the 2022 Urban Environmental Sustainability Conference, he called for more engagement from government.
The Sustainability Conference was to have members exchange opinions under a common agenda that focuses on the issues and challenges of the association. Speaking to Joy Business, President for the association Magnus Kwashi said the association will engage local construction firms in order to build capacity towards sustainable businesses, thus building a stronger sector towards the future.
I mean, talking about sustainability, some of the challenges we have has to do, for example, with payments to contractors, with payments to generally industry players. And if we're going to talk about sustainability, I think that it's important that we help to address the issues of governance. Okay, government is the main employer, and many construction firms, many industries are old, and so on and so forth. So with this trend, it is very difficult to develop what we call sustainable enterprises. And as a country, if we will develop, we need to be very, very decisive and intentional at developing our local industries. If you go to places in the Middle East, or even in Far East, what the Chinese did, what the Japanese did, what the Koreans did, was their governments intentionally deciding that they will help to transform their private sector. And so they put in place frameworks and policies that helped to speed up growth of the private sector.
The GCEA has been well represented at the international conferences of FIDIC and FIDIC Africa, which has contributed to raise the image of the association. This year's conference was under the theme Sustainability, Promoting Circular Economy and Governance.
Now, some Chinese nationals working at a quarry site in Kaswa in the central region on Thursday, December 8, 2022, released dogs on officials of the Tax Enforcement Unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority. The GRA officials were on an assignment to enforce tax compliance as part of measures to improve revenue collection in the country. Speaking to journalists, the head of enforcement at the GRA in charge of Accra Central, Joseph Anand, said the Chinese nationals released the dogs immediately they saw them on the site. James Ashanti has more.
The incident happened at the Executive Quarry, located within the Kaswa to Porton stretch on the Cape Coast Road. The Tax Enforcement Unit, a special group trained to handle hostile situations, hence the team was able to calm the dogs. Head of Enforcement at the GRA, in charge of Accra Central, Joseph Anand, said the case will be handed over to the Attorney General's department.
So, like we always do, we have arrested some staff of these places we have been to. The CID will take over. The assessments will. Their statements will be taken at the office, and then they will be billed by some senior member of those quarries. And then we will also go ahead and then assess them preemptively, and then we will refer the matter for future comprehensive audit. The case will be investigated, and then the dockets will be completed and handed over to our legal unit for possible prosecution. We experienced a nasty encounter today where dogs were released on us, but thanks to our security officers in the name of the preventive staff that we have with us, who are part of us, GRA, we were able to quell the situation, and we were able to go in and do our job. But this very company, that's the quarry, will be dealt with for trying to push it back by releasing dogs on us.
The quarry company visited by the team are Executive Quarry, Pilot Stone Quarry, Tonisco Quarry, and Haoshin Quarry. This, according to Mr. Anand, are all Chinese companies operating in Ghana without paying VAT. James Ashanti's report for Joy Business.
Away from that, advertisers have been urged not to lose focus, but rather remain relevant in these austere times by using technology to stay competitive. Speaking at the Advertising Association of Ghana's annual general meeting, President of the Institute of Public Relations Ghana, Magdan Aviation, called on the various advertising agencies not to be deterred by the current economic conditions, but rather remain resilient by revamping their brands now and in the future. There's more in the following report.
Speaking at the 31st annual general meeting of the Advertising Association of Ghana, President of the Institute of Public Relations, Magdan Aviation, said it is incumbent on advertising agencies to identify the needs of their clients in a more innovative way to satisfy their growing demands. He also added that it is imperative to leverage on data to expand and grow their businesses.
For you to be able to succeed and perform very well in turbulence and very challenging circumstances, you must not only be agile, you must always be ahead of the curve. And, I mentioned the fact that that understanding must be predicated on data. So data gives you a sense of insight, and it allows you to see beyond the ordinary. I mean, in a way, what data does and what the proper interpretation of information and data does is to give you the wings to soar above the ordinary. You see things that are not immediately obvious to most people. You are able to provide, because you have a view longer than the eyesight of most mortals, you are able to provide that right kind of direction to your partners, to business, to society.
The AGM, which brought together various advertising agencies, saw the election of new executives to steer the affairs of the association for a 2-year term. Andrew Aka was elected as the 31st president of the association. Speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of the AGM, Andrew Aka said his main objective will ensure the smooth passage of the advertising bill before Parliament.
The first is the fact that we have an advertising bill that has been hanging in and out of Parliament for the past decade plus, and we need to make sure that we regulate the industry, meaning we need to let parliamentarians appreciate the urgency of getting a bill in place to regulate the industry. You can see a lot of aspect of what we do that is unregulated, from billboards to television to the type of adverts, and all of that. So we need that to go through. Secondly, we also need to attract. It's seen as it's a beautiful mouthpiece for all of us, but we need to attract younger generation into the fold of Advertising Association.
The AGM saw the induction of 5 new advertising agencies into the association. For Joy Business, Pius Kujubaka.
You're still watching Prime Business here on the JoyNews channel with me, Beverly Broom. Let's take a look at some other stories. Former President John Dramani Mahama has charged the private sector not to relent to the current economic crisis, but rather support government in resuscitating the economy from further collapse. According to him, players in the private sector have a major role to play in reviving the economy regardless of the challenges they are being confronted with. John Mahama spoke at the 8th edition of the Ghana CEOs Network Business Cocktail in Accra.
Addressing the CEOs at the 8th edition of the Ghana CEO Network Business Cocktail in Accra, former President John Dramani Mahama, who was a special guest of honor, stated that if captains of industries lend their support to government in bringing the economy back on its feet, the envisaged 10 years revival of the economy may come to naught.
Indeed, there's a silver lining in all this. As stakeholders, we must continue to engage and share ideas as we strive to meander through these turbulent waters. Government's assessments suggest that the current economic conditions will be resolved in about 10 years, that is by 2028. I believe that if we all put our shoulders to the wheel, with you, the private sector, leading, with prudent economic management and good governance, we would be able to turn this economic crisis around much earlier than government has projected. Working together, we can build the Ghana we want.
Director of ESEP, Professor Peter Kwote, who was the guest speaker for the event, urged the business leaders to contribute their respective quota in ensuring inflation is reduced to a sustainable level while reducing the cost of living.
Cost of living, of course, is gone very high compared to previous periods. It's higher in Ghana than you find in other countries. But I think if we all do the right things as businessmen, we'll be able to come out of the woods. Hopefully, with the headmaster in the block, with IMF support, we'll be able to more disciplined, and our economy will be a bit stable and businesses can flourish within the current dispensation.
Founder and CEO of the CEO Network and Ghana CEO Summit, Ernest de Graft Ejiri, who was the main organizer of the event, touched on the theme for the program.
The theme for this year's CEO Network Business Cocktail was cost of living crisis and how inflation is affecting Ghanaian businesses. So we needed the academic angle and then the political and the policy angle. So tonight, yes, we network among ourselves to build familiarity, to build trust, to build our businesses. We've had a great time learning from these resource persons that we invited.
The Ghana CEO Network Business Cocktail is a yearly event which brings together CEOs of business groups to network and share new business ideas.
Now, telecoms giant MTN is confident that the encryption service offered on its messaging app, Ayoba, is a major growth poll. Group Chief Executive of the Ayoba app has been engaging journalists in Accra. Here's more.
In an era of sudden pickup in hacking of conversations on some telecom platforms, MTN believes that having a messaging app with an end-to-end encryption to safeguard data of users is very important. MTN is optimistic it can also use it to help bridge the digital divide in the country going forward. Here is the chief executive of Ayoba, Burak Akinsi.
As digital is increasing, the usage increasing, it is difficult to keep that safe. And Ayoba has this end-to-end encryption on the messaging side, which is important, and also it is encrypted in the server side, and we are trying to also educate our users about the problems and the risks in the digital world. Education is a very important aspect of our content strategy, and you can find any kind of educational content in the channels and also on the micro apps to be safe in digital world.
Manager of digital platforms at MTN Ghana, Winnie Jidonu, added that Ayoba plans to support existing startups through its Users' Choice Awards, where the winner will be awarded 20,000 Ghana cedis.
What we're doing is we've started an accelerator for our different startups in the industry. So we've worked with the different hubs across Ghana. We had a whole road show. We went to Kumasi, Takrade, Tamale, and Accra, and we met with the digital hubs that are supporting startups. So the competition is actually providing two benefits. One, they're going to be trained and introduced to the key people that they need to work with Ayoba as a platform. And secondly, there will be cash rewards. So we will have a reward, which is an expert's choice, that the winning team will win 20,000 CDs. We'll have a User's Choice Award, which that winner would also be winning 20,000 CDs. We have a Ayoba Influencer Award. So let's say your micro app didn't make it, but you were really good at marketing, supporting, driving traffic to your product on Ayoba. There's also a reward for you.
The Ayoba app was developed to harness growth in the African economy by breaking barriers to the internet and digital services. Ayoba delivers free music, games, news, entertainment, voice and video calling, and other content to users. Ayoba, since its launch, has reached millions of users in Africa and has 2 million users in Ghana.
Now, the University of Ghana Business School is projecting a $250 million budget to execute its 3-year strategic plan. According to the Dean of the Business School, Professor Justice Bawale, this will aid in rethinking business and help re-envisage the future of the school. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the strategic plan.
The strategic plan has specific action needed to achieve the various objectives and the corresponding output over the planning horizon. According to Professor Bawale, the current medium-term strategic plan is accompanied by implementation and monitoring arrangements.
So the strategic plan is costed to be about $250 million. If we have to execute the element within the 4-year span of the budget, this was estimated at $250 million. Today, as we speak now, things have changed, and so we're going to be updating those figures. But I'll give you a few indicators of what it is that we are doing. For example, in our bid to develop world-class infrastructure for education, we're coming up with a brand new lecture theater, what we call the UGBS lecture complex. And that alone is estimated to cost us in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 million US dollars. And then you're talking about the development of a faculty, staff. You're talking about our ability to support research and research development. You're talking about our ability to take our students abroad for them to experience management in other contexts. You're thinking about bringing faculty and bringing more faculty to be able to break our student engagement to smaller groups and stuff like that.
The 8 strategic pillars which drive the plan are excellence in teaching and learning, excellence in research, internationalization and accreditation, marketing, communications and industry engagement, efficient financial management, development of world-class infrastructure, development of human resource competencies, and responsible management education, institutional and community engagement.
And that's all for business. We have more business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Thank you so much for your company. My name is Beverly Broom, and I leave you with news making headlines.
Do you or your children rub their eyes too often? Do the eyes become itchy, watering, or red sometimes? Well, all these may be due to allergic conjunctivitis. Simple as it seems, allergies can have long-term effects on the eye, including blindness if not treated well. Allergic conjunctivitis is treated by eye specialists. Visit the St. Thomas Eye Hospital and get examined by an eye specialist today. St. Thomas Eye Hospital has its surgical center at Mataheko Flamingo, an outpatient clinic on the Osu Oxford Street in Accra, and a new clinic at the Tema Evergreen Shopping Center. Call us on 024-675-8483 or 054-012-5450 for more information.
Hey, Cracky! Hey! Bro, Charlie, the way my landlord they chase me up and down. 3 days this I know if you enter the house inside.
You guys are still dealing with rent issues. Haven't you heard about Lakeside Estate's end of year promotion?
Lakeside Estate.
Your time has come to become a homeowner. Where you live matters to you and matters to us at Lakeside Estate. This holiday season, we offer you the chance to own your own home at Lakeside Hills Phase 2 Lifestyle Community with a 2-year interest-free repayments plan or 10% discount for outright purchases. No more rent. You can choose from our 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and 4 bedroom homes with spacious compound, multi-purpose court, community center, football pitch, clubhouse, children playgrounds, and other interesting amenities. To end your landlord worries, call the following numbers to assist you with your home acquisition journey.
This is Doha, this is Qatar. We come together tonight, 1 billion of us, in every corner of the globe where the beautiful game matters.
Here for the show-stopping magic of a moment.
Get DSTV access with an HD decoder plus dish kit for only 169 Ghana cedis and upgrade to compact to watch all the 64 matches. Here for every fan.
Bank of Ghana has upgraded the 1 Ghana cedi coin with enhanced security features. The coin will be put into circulation from 12th December 2022. It is similar to the existing 1 Ghana cedi coin in shape, form, and images. The coat of arms in front and the scale of justice at the back. The upgraded 1 Ghana cedi coin is bimetallic with outer gold and inner silver. The coin has a pronounced rough edge and incorporates a latent image which appears in a rectangular form below the scale of justice at the back. The latent image changes from a radiating star to a 1 Ghana cedi symbol sandwiched between 2 stars when tilted. The existing and the upgraded 1 Ghana cedi coins will co-circulate until the existing coin is gradually withdrawn. The general public is encouraged to accept the coins and use them.
You feel adrift as you transition into a new stage of your life. The future seems like a blank space until you discover the passion within. The canvas of the future is yours to paint. Welcome to a world of opportunities. Heritage Christian College, a university educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
See, let me tell you something. I'm large and in charge. You see this life, they say follow who know road. I'm the road and I'm in control. I drive my own life and nobody can tell me what to do.
Nobody?
Absolutely no one. I'm large and in charge.
Please, stop here.
Sure, honey.
Oh, that.
If you see we won't, be our master.
I feel you know that.
Calico, the natural fruit juice drink. This advert is FDA approved.
Kumasi Zoo. Get ready for the biggest concert on the music calendar. It's the Night with the Stars 2022. Rattray Park in partnership with your superstation Love 99.5 FM brings you the biggest jam. Boxing Day 26 December 2022 featuring Amachidede, Kofi Kinata, Samini, Jackie. And that's not all. Get ready to meet the powerful high life icons Akobwa and Kwabena. It's one big stage featuring all these legends: Amachidede, Kofi Kinata, Samini, Jackie, Akobwa, and Kwabena. Boxing Day 26 December 2022. Evergreen and most spacious Rattray Pack. Be there for 100 cities regular and 150 cities VIP. Limited reservations for tables of 5 and 10.
Call 020-601-8820.
Night with the Stars 2022. Come shake the troubles away.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Well, the quarterfinals of the World Cup is on and Brazil suffered a quarterfinal exit from the 2022 World Cup after losing on penalties to Croatia. The game headed into a penalty shootout after Neymar's extra time opener was cancelled out by Bruno Petkovic late in the second half. Here are a highlight of it.
That's a well-taken spot kick, decisively dispatched past Alisson. Extra time. It's Rodrigo against Livakovic. And he's saved! Livakovic is at it again. Brazilian TV commentators next to us are looking at the table. They can't bear to look at it. And he's put it away so well. Livakovic with a hat-trick of penalty save. But he's got the job done.
What a pen.
First potentially decisive moment in this penalty shootout. Marquinhos, oh, he's missed! Brazil are out! The shock has happened! Croatia for the second time in the...
Well, my colleague George Addo Jr. was at the stadium and he came to with his report.
Croatia have done what really looked unthinkable because this Brazilian side looked like one that was going to win the competition. The last time Brazil won the competition was in Asia, when it was hosted by Japan and South Korea. So many thought it was going to be very easy for Brazil, but Croatia have rewritten all the rules in this competition. Croatia have knocked out Brazil from the 2022 World Cup on penalties by 4-2. What a story. For Brazil, it's the 4th time since they won the competition in 2002 that they have been knocked out by a European side. They lost out to France in they lost out to France in 2006. They lost out to Belgium in 2018 and lost out to the Netherlands in 2010. So today's game started pretty well for Brazil. They had a lot of chances in the first 90 minutes, but could not place the ball in the back of the net. 13 of those chances with 7 on target. It went into extra time, when many of us thought Croatia were going to lose or, take their foot off the gas because they had already played in extra time against Japan in the previous game. Brazil managed to score the first goal through Neymar. That was a fantastic goal after taking up the pass from Rodrigo and rounding up goalkeeper Livakovic. In the second half of extra time, Croatia were back and roaring. Petkovic got the ball in a nice counter-attack and smashed the ball into the net. It ended 1-1 after extra time, and they headed into the dreaded penalty shootout. Remember Livakovic, the goalkeeper of Croatia, he saved 3 against Japan, and in this penalty shootout, he saved 1. But Brazil missed another after Marquinhos hit the bar. Croatia hit all the 4 into the net, and it ended by 4-2. So the 2018 finalists, Croatia, are heading into the semi-finals after knocking out the Samba of Brazil, knocking out the Brazil that looked so entertaining in the competition. What a story and what a tournament this is turning out to be. George Adi Jr. reporting from the Education City Stadium, where the Croatian fans are just soaking in the atmosphere of making it into the semi-finals after knocking out Brazil.
Very happy, excellent happy. Hey, it's amazing. History, it's the best.
History, yes.
The best.
Did you believe you could win it?
Of course, Croatian salsa, samba baby, samba from Croatia.
All right. Tell me, how excited are you? All right. Let me get a few more to find out. How excited are you?
Sorry.
How excited are you? Okay, it's all right, you lost your voice.
Yeah.
Okay, you lost your voice. So excited. How excited are you?
Beyond words.
All right.
Those are the scenes at Education City as Croatia made it a second successive semi-final appearance there over Brazil. Well, tomorrow there's still games, but in the game between Argentina and the Netherlands, it's already 2-0 for Argentina, who look very surreal to face Croatia in the semi-finals. But France and England will be in action tomorrow. Likewise, also some other quarter-final games there. But I have in the studio to me Joe Obote, and he's been following the numbers relative to that game between France and England tomorrow. And Joel, what have you found? What do you have to share with us as far as the numbers are concerned?
So as you can clearly tell, when it comes to possession, England clearly dominates when they face France, when they go up against France. Average possession, they are averaging 64%, and they are 3rd in terms of ranking amongst the 32 teams at the tournament. But when it comes to tackles, you can clearly tell that France put in a lot of work, and it's no surprise when you look at their backline and their midfield. They have young, exciting players over there.
Yeah.
And in terms of goal scoring or even shots, France are having more compared to England. France, if you look at the attack, if they could put up the numbers of the France attackers, you clearly see that they have a very, very good attack line. You have Dembele, Giroud, who surpassed Thierry Henry to become
all-time top scorer.
And you have Mbappe, who is young,
22. Top scorer of the tournament so far.
And he could possibly overtake the record that Giroud has. He has so many years ahead of him. But if you look at what they've done in this competition so far, you can clearly tell that France are very deadly.
So, I mean, you consider the France attack, and clearly that should be a sense of concern for Gary Southgate's Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I mean, many people have spoken about Maguire and his dip in form for Manchester United. But when you look at him for England, he looks sharp, and he looks very interested in what's happening. He's always focused, concentrated, giving his all, and it's surprising. Maybe he may carry that form back to Manchester United. But yes, France attack is definitely one that would pressure him at the back.
I mean, interesting. Also, still in that game, there's a little bit of, an agenda being set between Kyle Walker and Kylian Mbappe relative to their speed.
Yeah.
To me about that one.
I mean, if you look at what both players do, the only thing that would stand out is at which point or which position at the pitch both meet at. If they are meeting close to the goal, Mbappe is one deadly player. You don't want to get him close to goal. But if it's somewhere closer to the center line, you're going to see that matchup for pace. Maybe we may see a whole run-up between the two, maybe a through ball being placed through, and both of them will have to chase it. That's when we'd actually see
who
will be the fastest.
What about the other quarterfinal game we have?
In terms of Morocco, Portugal, that's also an interesting
African interest, definitely.
And with Morocco going to the quarterfinal for the first time in their history and becoming the fourth African nation to get there, it's one that most people will be wishing or be hoping that they get to the semi-final and break that luck that other African countries have not had. But if you look at the numbers in terms of defensive numbers, trust me, Morocco really stands out. They've conceded
one so far this tournament.
And it's no surprise if you look at that back line. All of those players are top-notch. Even to the right back, Hakimi, despite his attacking prowess, he's able to give his all defensively, and that's one thing that stands out with this Moroccan side. The coach, too, is someone that enjoys playing from the back and involving each and every player. So there's no surprise for me that they are really solid at the back. But attacking-wise, we all know what Portugal has, even squad depth. They have the likes of Rafael Leao coming off the bench and more. It's a team.
So you expect a very exciting game.
For me, it's one that is most exciting for me because I really want to see how the players go up against each other and this game is going to be like a game of chess.
Interesting. That's Joe Obote, and of course, there's going to be more of as far as analysis of these games are concerned on Inside Qatar later tonight on Joy Prime. And but still on that quarterfinal fixture tomorrow, I've been engaging Chris Harrington of GWTV, and he's been speaking extensively about Jude Bellingham and what he brings into the England national team.
Because England's Jude Bellingham, of course, is suited up for Borussia Dortmund. I think he's been a standout player, stellar player. He came in with a bit of momentum and hype because the way he's been performing for Dortmund, but then him being linked to bigger clubs, specifically Liverpool. He's been speaking about playing in England, and he's been playing quite well. His teammates actually call him one of the most gifted players they've ever seen when they factor in his age. He's got everything. They don't see a weakness in his game. He's going to be the best midfielder in the world for sure. And I think that says a lot. And then I found it quite interesting. Bellingham's shirt number wasn't chosen by accident. He's comfortable at several positions, the 4, the 8, and the 10, which adds up to 22. And that's the number he's been wearing since he's been on the international pitch. And he's been performing very well. 2 assists and a goal in 4 games. It goes without saying how much of an impact he is. And then, speaking about his offense, he'll be up against France's Dayot Upamecano. He's been getting the most time starting in the back 4 as central defender, for France. That could be quite interesting. And that could actually be a reason Dortmund fans at home could celebrate success, in that respect. Because maybe back home when the domestic action resumes, Bayern might be pretty peeved about the majority of their players being ejected. So I'm sure they're going to put a lot of steam behind, proving themselves on the pitch where opportunity presents itself, and that's, of course, in the Bundesliga and the Champions League and so forth. But in terms of the World Cup fixture, I think this is an electric fixture, an all-European fixture, and it should be quite competitive against England and France. I'm sure a lot of fireworks will take place. France, offensively, they're a major threat, but we could see some upsets take place.
Well, interesting. Let's just talk a bit about the German national team, because earlier in the week we spoke about, what some of the players have been saying relative following their exit. The likes of Kai Havertz and a few others have been speaking. But the question really is, what does the team need to do to really stay competitive, to become a force to reckon with, at the world level and even in the European tournament?
Well, I think competitiveness starts at the top. Hansi Flick, you know, he came off the back of this miraculous performance as Bayern head coach, winning 6 trophies. He was already in the shadows under Joachim Löw, the prior Germany head coach. But clearly, you know, this exit is just symbolic that things need to change, the mentality needs to change, and maybe just the selection process overall needs to change. And the German Football Association have said to stick by Flick's side because you have to consider the European Championship is right around the corner. Okay, 2024 is not too far away. Germany's playing host to that competition. So, you know, to change things up so quickly might not make more sense. It makes much more sense to me to focus on the next World Cup. So we could see a change immediately after that. A few names are in the hat. Thomas Tuchel is one name that's been mentioned, but, you know, my opinion is that Jurgen Klopp is the #1 choice to be the next boss. At least that's what the president of the German Association believes to be the case. So time will tell, but I do think leadership is an issue. And then their defense. I mean, no clean sheets. They need some real defenders. You know, Rudiger's been called as their only true defender. The other ones, you know, look to be playing make-believe in terms of what those positions truly require to be solid on a real competitive pitch such as the World Cup. So a lot of things need to be reworked and refixed. And they've even talked about investment, you know, more money possibly being put into the grassroots development of trying to build an in-house talent, you know, at a very young age, develop him from a very young age. You know, maybe a core for that matter. So a lot of things are to be said, but right now it looks like Flick will be the man.
Well, Craig, just before I let you go, what else really hit your radar?
No, you know, the only thing else out there to mention is you know, just what it means for the African nations to be in Qatar in the World Cup, in the tournament. I mentioned, you know, earlier that, you know, Morocco was the last team standing, you know, but all in all, I do think the teams represented themselves well in terms of some of the victories they've gotten, especially when you consider, I think the biggest team with the biggest chance, of course, was Senegal. And I mentioned earlier, you know, what Sadio Mane had to say